Welcome back to Beards and Brews. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. Hit that little bell so you know when we have another one brewing. This week's movie is going to be Demolition Man. Fellas, what'd you think of the future?
Encino Man 2. Demolition, buddy.
Man,
Oh,
the
no.
future is whack.
Whoa, can't say that. You've been fined 1 credit for inappropriate language.
Oh, shit.
That's one of the best bits in this whole movie. It's just like
Yeah.
Sylvester Stallone just tearing it up.
I love that he's like, I need to take a shit. Fuck, ass, dick, cunt. I'm gonna go wipe my ass with these.
They do just kind of give that up about halfway through, I feel like. But, like, maybe not halfway through, but like 2/3 the way through, it doesn't happen again.
No. I have to disagree. Every time they're in like a really important building and there's a curse word in the background, there's like a "Merk." It's just around, and I found that super hilarious.
Okay.
Yeah, like whenever they go to the pajama Zoom meeting and he's in there cussing at evil Pope guy, it's like bam, and then it pans over to Otho and he's standing there with the hands up like, don't shoot me, and then the little ticket's sticking out next to him.
I find that the screenplay for this movie is super tight for no reason.
Super tight?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, they'll bring up seemingly unimportant things, and they'll just come back later, and it's just like nice and resolved. Or you have that like running gag, like we mentioned with like the little anti-curse machine or whatever you want to call it. And even like more famously, the 3 seashells, and how that just like perks up in conversation. They're just like, wait, what the fuck? You don't know how to use the 3 seashells?
Like, I've seen that referenced on the internet before, but I didn't know what it was from. And then as soon as it's mentioned, I'm like, oh, the 3 seashells. I still don't know how to use those.
Like, is that ever explained?
No.
Or how to use the 3 seashells. Okay.
I mean, how many different ways are there to use them?
Yeah, I was thinking like, a cheek goes on like the outside shells and like the middle shell just like sucks out all the shit or something.
What?
What? How's this? What? You're just making like little oyster cakes. You're just pooping in there.
Ooh.
So that's exactly how it goes. Step 1, take 2 of the seashells and place them in between your fingers, used like chopsticks. There's pictures too, by the way. Step 2, using the 2 seashells, gently pull on feces to remove them from your posterior until your bowels have been completely evacuated. Step 3, using the 3rd seashell, scrape away any fecal remnants from your posterior. Leaving step 4, dispose of all 3 seashells in the toilet. Please flush.
How is that better than toilet paper?
It's not, why are you pulling shit out of yourself like that? How is this any kind of improvement in the
fucking
future? You had to yank
tapeworm.
it out. Ew, I don't like it.
Like, what kind of septic systems do they have in the future, 40 years in the future, to where they can, like, you can flush seashells?
Look, in the future, all your shit just gets dumped on Dennis Leary. Don't worry about it.
Evidently.
Gonna have a rat burger. Now, let me just say, 96 was a rough year, apparently. We are treated to a helicopter ride much like Running Man,
Yep.
with the titular hero, Expendables style, Sylvester Stallone. He's in there going, we're gonna go fight this guy. And Dennis Rodman.
It's really, I don't know, like this movie takes whatever from wherever source, because like the opening shot, I'm just like, man, this is just Blade Runner. They're just like, yeah, anything in 96, 97 era, it's just basically, Judgment Day, everything shit, don't worry about it.
Yeah, by the way, this movie made or released in 1993 opens up in 1996, so they think a lot of shit is going to go down in those 3 years. We've got the Hollywood sign ablaze, and someone's hijacked a bus, and it's not Keanu Reeves. Sandra Bullock does show up, though.
Facts.
Like that
Yeah.
connection.
Now, this scene with the helicopter hovering over this building turns into a fucking amazing action sequence.
It does, dude. Like fucking Sylvester Stallone. I mean, it's like super like macho action, but it's a lot of fun. I think the only thing that took away from the scene is just the fact that he's just like talking to himself as he's about to make that little halo jump or whatever.
Yes.
I fucking got this. They send a crazy person to take a crazy person. And like the pilot's just like, man, sure hope I don't see that fucker in 40 years.
See,
He's
the thing that cut me out of it was like 45 seconds into the movie, like we are just going, I'm sitting there, Wilhelm scream, just like right off the bat. Like, I'm just taken out of it when I can notice it that immediately within like the running time of the movie.
I don't know. Like when movies have the Wilhelm scream, I think it's charming. I'm just like, oh, okay, all right.
I mean,
Unless it's like, unless it's like the end of Temple of Doom where it's used like 8 fucking times and you're just like, all right.
Oh, it's used so much.
now this chopper is under some really cool tracer fire coming from some guns, which is really neat to see. And then, like you said, he's like mumbling to himself, like, and he fucking,
It's how he pumps himself up or something. I don't know.
yeah, oh, gotta do it. I don't want to jump. And the pilot's like, what? And he's like, I'm jumping. Straight bungee jumps out of this thing. He's like attached to a cord. It snaps, and he doesn't even bungee up. This man has dropped like hundreds of feet on a cord, snapped into place, and immediately unloads 2 guns into the bad guys.
I was going to bring that up. Like, he didn't like bungee jump or halo jump. He just had a rope tied to him and he jumped on a building.
Yeah, my vertebrae are basically mini marshmallows now, so
It's like the fucking scene from Batman, Rise, the deesh deesh basara basara, except for he didn't fix his back.
I was straight up waiting for him like to land on the roof of that building like in 2 halves because he was just like doink split.
Yeah, but instead he just unhooks and goes to fucking town. And this action sequence and the area they were fighting in, I was like, holy shit, this would have been fucking amazing if they could have had Sylvester Stallone as this John Spartan character and RoboCop teaming up.
Yeah, that's a crossover.
I think that you just really want that hole filled in your body where RoboCop 3 tore it to pieces.
You're probably not wrong.
Like, we want more RoboCop. Like, what we got ain't what we want.
Fair play to you.
But
Now,
basically, he runs in there, and Wesley Snipes is doing a line. Is like, "Hey, you want to get on this?" And he's like, "No."
But it's so matter of fact like that. He's just like, well, you're a bad guy. Where's the hostages? Tell me where I have a gun. And Wesley Snipes has this like butane torch with him, and he's like lighting a cigarette. Unbeknownst to Sly, that there's like a bunch of gas on the ground, and he holds it from the gas like 2 inches away. And I'm just like, how is this place not already on fire or more on fire?
dude, the fact that there are literal barrels of C4 just chilling.
I didn't even know that was like a unit of measurement for fucking C4. Like, hey, how many bricks of C4 can I order? Well, sir, you're in luck. We have it by the barrel and the desk.
Ah, good.
Yeah, like this is pretty ridiculous. Like this is like an abandoned, I don't even know what this is, some kind of a building, but it's huge. And we've just got gallons of C4 and gallons, because that's what you measure it in, gallons, and barrels of gasoline, and it's all leaking out all over the place. Flick the cigarette, of course.
Stallone is on fire. He's like, ooh, hostages! Charges through the flames and tackles fucking Dennis Rodman over there, and he's just like, you're the bad guy, I'm the good guy, I'm dragging you out of here, I win, fire bad.
You can basically sum this whole scene up to the fact Sylvester Stallone was like a linebacker running through this building, picks up Wesley Snipes on the way out, and outruns an explosion.
Yes, he is the juggernaut bitch.
Yeah.
I love how, like, I don't know if it was just like a weird way to edit the sound, but like Sylvester Stallone just like on his way out, and the building's already halfway fucking gone. You can still hear him just fucking tooting away.
Explosions going, and it's just like a tiny zoom in of him like flying through the air. Oh, but this fucking explosion is awesome. It's huge.
It's great. We spoke about this like when we were talking about True Lies. It's like it's always a treat when they actually blow the shit out of something. Like an entire building, like a factory building, is just level.
And then they do the thing.
Which thing?
He's like, what are you doing in that spot? And what are you, some kind of demolition man?
Oh, that thing, yeah.
Then Wesley Snipes is like, I look like a taxi cab in this jacket.
And he's like, by the way, you killed 20 or 30 people. And Stallone goes, whoops.
Yeah.
He didn't look concerned at all. He was more pissed that Wesley Snipes threw him under the bus.
Why are you ratting on me?
I didn't even do nothing.
Fucking, the best thing happens next, because he's like, you better get a good lawyer. And there is no trial. He's just
No.
guilty. And they're like, we're going to read you your charges. He's like, skip it. Like, you can do that? You can just skip it. Just freeze me already, motherfucker. Get me naked.
Yeah. Oh, and we get to the whole catalyst of the movie. So both Simon Phoenix, Wesley Snipes, and Demolition Man, Sylvester Stallone, John Spartan, they're just frozen. Instead of executed or thrown in prison, they're just put in like these giant ISO cells.
Like, I thought that's the kind of shit that you'd have to pay for in the future. Instead, no, you just have to go out and commit involuntary manslaughter 70 times.
I love how involuntary is just like always in quotes in this movie. Like, maybe.
I was kind of like weirded out by the process because to me this seemed cruel and unusual. You're basically drowning someone and then flash freezing while they're drowning?
Absolutely. Like, I don't know what movie it is. It's either The Abyss or Event Horizon, one of those movies. But like, they have this scene where you can be in a suit with liquid oxygen, but they have to fill it up. And they warn you, like, listen, your body is going to fight this, but you have to breathe this stuff in. They tell him fucking shit. There's like, get in the tub and fucking naked.
Well, they were
naked.
trying to tell him, but he was like, skip it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. But he starts freaking out, like, immediately. He gets in this like little hockey puck and they start filling it up with the goop. And he's just like, wait a minute, I don't like it when it's wet. Get me out of here.
Wait, filling it up with the goop? Was this movie sponsored by Gwyneth Paltrow?
Oh,
Oh, it smells like a vagina.
But again, this is what they're projecting the justice system in the U.S. to be like in 3 years, from 1993 to 1996.
dude, we took some technological leaps.
Sure did.
I like how in the movie timeline we get all this technological advancement, but in real life, the president got a blowjob. The end.
I was blown away by the fact that they took the next 6 minutes to play the credits and give us a 360-degree tour of Sylvester Stallone's muscular body.
Well, thank God.
Whose real idea was this? Did he just like walk into the effects like, you gotta cast me? You gotta cast me!
Just fucking flexing up. Now, the whole time they're doing this, I was just waiting for like some James Bond music to cue up.
I actually don't remember this at all, I'll be honest. The next thing I know, like, we're introduced to Sandra Bullock.
Yeah, it's 2032, and we're at a polite police station, and we're shown that graffiti will not stand because apparently every wall everywhere is rigged with anti-graffiti stuff. So whenever this machine turns on and automatically spray paints Chud Life 420, it immediately removes it.
How they know my gamer tag.
But it's a subtle way to show that like this future society treats, I don't know, like unwanted things as just like, oh, that's most unorthodox. Away with you, sir. And that's it. They basically just like pray all the bad things away.
Except for old Sandra Bullock. She wants anarchy. She wants to cuss. She wants to watch Lethal Weapon.
She's got that Red Hot Chili Peppers poster up.
Fact.
This is a little bit of a deep cut, but like behind her desk on a shelf on the wall, I noticed there was a bus that looked exactly like the one from Speed.
That's fucking awesome. But this officer that she plays is definitely the recipient of privilege because,
For sure.
man oh man, the people walk in and they're like, oh, you, look at all this contraband you have in the police station on public display for literally the chief of police to see. And no one says shit.
It's definitely like they had to put all this stuff in there for character building, but like the way they worded it, like the way the guy walked in there, she's like, man, is there anything not fucking illegal as shit in here? And she's just like, tee-hee, only you. Right.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, she's like, I'm such a slut for illegal stuff. She doesn't say that at all. But no, she's like a 20th century file or whatever you would call it. Like, she's just really into that retro stuff.
Yeah,
Whatever. She's quirky.
Yeah.
She can only catch a cyber nut whenever she's thinking about the past.
Oh, no, that does explain the sex scene later on then.
Okay, we got to talk about that because that shit's crazy. Now, it cuts to parole hearings. And guess who's getting the option for parole for whatever reason? It's
Blade.
Blade.
That was so loud.
Now, why is this guy so offended that everything he says is repeated back to him influent Spanish?
Because he's a nerd.
Don't you dare speak Spanish to me, sir. And then he just says teddy bear and he's free. Like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, I didn't really understand this, like why the cuffs just like came undone at. Was it the word teddy bear that did it? Is that the
Yeah, that
magic
was the
word?
safe-
Huh.
Like
I
you know,
usually
the
use
movie-
avocado.
But yeah, the movie keeps it hush hush for a while. But Simon Phoenix comes out of his frozen stupor. One, extremely fluent in Spanish. Two times stronger. He's fluent in martial arts as well. He knows how to hack into everything in the city. And like he burns right through the middle of the city because no one knows how to defend themselves.
No.
Yeah, he like just to break out, he like immediately dispenses of all of the guards and cuts out one of the warden's eyeballs, and
Yeah.
that's pretty much his way out of this cryo prison or whatever they call it. And like the alarms are lighting up all over the place as they go out, and everybody's just standing around like, what are we supposed to do? We're cops.
Rob Schneider has a great line. It's like, what is happening? We're police. We're not trained to deal with this.
Yeah.
And what blows my mind is no one, like, it's been 40 years.
Yeah.
40 years. No one has bucked the system. No one knows how to do anything. Everyone's just like completely inept at anything. Like if someone's trying to kill you, you would at least, at the very least, push a hand out like, no, get away. And everyone just stands there like, yeah, I'll take a murder, death, kill. 2, please.
2, please. No, they'll just stand there and just be like, jolly green giant.
Oh, I love this one.
Oh man, that's so cringe. But like,
Yeah.
you know, the best part about him whooping up on everybody, like how he punked that one cop that tried to fight back. It's like, oh, all right, an adversary. Wow.
It was so weird because he's like stills the car and drives away and they're like, haha, well, we'll just shut the car off. He just gets out, goes over to the local street ATM/phone/computer and just starts hacking away.
Yeah,
And
I don't exactly know what that kind of kiosk is, but it gives you information about anything you want. The future's weird, man.
Well, I mean, he used his 90s hacker skills to hack into the SAPD and do all kinds of wacky shit. I don't want to say like it was to cover his footsteps or whatever, because like he legitimately like blows up a car like 2 seconds later.
You know what I think's real funny? Like, all right, this has happened in so many movies, but when they're looking ahead to the future and they're looking ahead to all of this like crazy technology that we're supposed to have going on, they don't ever think about like the TV screens getting better. They're all like these tiny little 480p like CRT screens, and man, they look so old.
So you're saying like technology peaked at like 2007 YouTube?
never got better. Now, the police arrive and immediately start shitting their pants. And fucking Wesley Snipes, dressed as Corbin, my man, Urban Dallas over here, starts just putting the beat down on everyone.
I know he's supposed to be like a fit dude. He has the martial arts stuff now, but he straight up grabs a guy through a windshield and throws him across the street. Did anybody else fucking notice his superhuman strength for no reason?
Oh, yeah.
They said twice as strong. You're still not slinging dudes across
Yeah, he
4
just
lanes of
hucked
traffic.
him. I was like, what? They left us in? I like half expected like a slide whistle just to be like, and there he just goes. He doesn't come down.
To the moon.
Yeah, but he dispenses of all of these guys with violence, knocks out all the cameras, and he blows up another cop car, too.
He does it so fucking daintily. It just pleases me so much because they're just like watching him wreak havoc in the middle of New Angeles or whatever it's called. And he's just like, hee hee hee, hee hee hee. Put the little thing in the gas tank, ha ha ha, boom. And they're all just like, oh, man, we didn't see that coming at all.
I never even knew you could do that. He takes the little camera from the whatever street computer and he tases it, and that somehow shuts down everything in a 6-block radius.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe in the future they like.
are they in
outlaw
Texas?
Everything.
Hey, look, you need to enhance your calm, sir.
And of course, you know, the police are just, I don't even know why they exist in a society like this. They're completely useless. They're all just clamoring around trying to search for possible solutions to all this. And then we have like that one just swashbuckling cop that's been at the place for like 50 years.
Mhm.
And it turns out it's the fellow from the helicopter, the pilot. He's like, Mass, I remember Simon Phoenix. Back in the day, only one man could take this guy out.
Okay, now this is where I started having a hard time because the chief is just as old, if not older than this guy.
Yeah, he
And
doesn't
it's
remember
like-
a damn thing.
I don't know anything about anything past last week.
It's super odd. Like, I know they somewhat explained earlier, like, a lot of people's lives were extinguished from the big one in 2010. Wait a minute, they rebuilt this whole fucking place in 30 years? Whatever.
Yeah, I guess so.
But, like, they have him on file. They have old news footage of him, and suddenly, like, this legend is just now just being remembered? Come on.
Dude, yeah, Sandra Bullock uses like Wii discs full of his antics to enhance her calm. They're like, the only way we can do this is fight fire with fire, and they de-thaw John Spartan, very much Austin Powers-esque.
Absolutely.
I was blown away by the fact that he's like, well, I had a wife. What happened? Oh, she's dead.
And-
What about my daughter? Who cares?
Like, it's so blasé, and how just, like, whiplash they go over. It's like, where's my family? And the movie's just straight up like, fuck them.
Yes. Okay, his wife has just died. To him, 0 time to grieve. It's just, fuck that. Who cares? Go catch Phoenix. And he's like, well, what about my daughter? And they're like, I said, go get Phoenix. Mind you, it's been a day or 2 or 3 since his wife died to fuck Sandra Bullock and just be like, whatever. I'll move on quick. And then they just stop talking about his daughter. He just has no desire to find her at this point.
And Sandra Bullock's even just like, oh, you know, it's like misuse of my police authority, but I can just like type in this computer right here and immediately find her. He's like, no.
Yeah, no. And then, yeah, like you said, she's just not brought up again ever. Why even have that character at all, or like the idea of that character?
I guess sympathy points, but like it legitimately 100% amounts to nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because once they say fucking you are going after Phoenix, he like bites his lip, gets an erection, and starts fucking yelling. So just picture an Italian Brock Samson, and that's what you got.
He just fucking jumps in his car ass first.
Yeah, it's just like, it's always cold in Siberia. Fucking jumps in the car.
But that's absolutely correct. Like, he goes from like, oh, I'm sad because my family is no longer, and everything that I ever knew and loved is completely gone. Phoenix? And just fucking goes
Yes. They put him in his little outfit, and they're like, hey, you're a cop now again. He's like, okay, I just immediately adjust to everything. Whatever, who cares? And fucking Rob Schneider is there. And
He's just
God damn it.
He don't know how to use the 3 shells.
and like Stallone's looking at him just like, I wanna hit it.
I'm gonna wipe my ass with him.
Yeah, but evidently in that time, yeah, toilet paper is gone. We find out a number of things are gone or different from society. Like, you can't cuss, you can't drink alcohol, you can't smoke cigarettes, no chocolate, no abortion. Pregnancy is outlawed without a license, and like, come on.
Hell, you can't even like high five anybody because you can't touch anybody, and they don't really give a decent explanation. They could have just been like, "Well, that's gay," but no, you don't even get that.
Fucking, I like how Stallone gets told, everyone's got RFID chips. And he goes, that's a fascist thing to do. And he's like, well, you got one too. He's like, I hate fascism. Ugh.
Yeah, I really get the idea that, okay, this is the fever dream of a very frequent Breitbart forum writer who's just like, this is the future liberals want.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can absolutely see that for sure. And like, this guy has just been in Frozen to deal with the problem that is Simon Phoenix. And he's trying, I don't want to say his best. Like, he just, going from his guns like, okay, Simon's a bad guy and this is what he's going to do. He's going to go get some guns. And the police chief is like, there are no guns. And then he's just like, well, he's not going to change nothing.
Oh, god damn it. Oh, but he's like, the only guns here are in the museum. Smash cut to
Dude.
fucking Snipes over there, gentlemen, let's say it together, getting some guns.
Guns!
Teamwork.
But the fucking giddiness on Wesley Snipes' face when he sees this like old armory, and he's just like, oh, all right, let's get it. And he fucking flat out just fucking punches the glass.
This is like gun horniness. He's like walking through this museum
Yeah,
like, ooh, that's a shotgun. Ooh, where's them laser blasters or whatever?
And I love that he's like just straight high kicking, and that high kick's impressive. He's
It
high
is.
kicking the glass. And the guy comes up, "Excuse me, sir, what's your boggle?" And he's like, "Oh, boggle slam!" And fucking chucks him.
Good God!
That man had a family.
Yeah, he's dead for sure. But he goes crazy. Like this movie has a lot of isms, a lot of meme-worthy stuff, a lot of famous dialogue and everything. But the small things are the stuff that gets me. And he starts like taking stuff from the mannequins. He's like, "Whoa, sorry, Rambo, but this one's for me."
Now, my favorite little throwaway line, like, in that little scene was when he's like, "What is this, like, battery powered? Where the fuck do you buy batteries around here? Where's the Radio Shack?"
How could they know?
Well, now it's a Taco Bell, so
Yeah.
This action really takes off in a great way. He whips out a fucking shotty and just skins that smoke wagon and goes to work on the first two dudes that walk through the door with smiles on their faces.
But it's so quick. He's just like, "Whoom," and they're gone, just dispatched. Like,
And he's
fucking
just smiling.
And, like, we finally get John Spartan rolling in there because, of course, he knew where he was going. It's the only place in the city with guns anymore. He sees him, Snipes, whatever his name is, Phoenix sees him, and he's like, "John Spartan? They'll let anyone into this century." Like, ultimate dad joke right there. Like, here comes trouble.
yeah, for sure.
Oh.
And then Sylvester Stallone's just like, "Hey, fucko, let's do this." And they go in this intense gunfight, which is so fun because it's so compact. Like, you don't have to like know where you're going or anything.
They're fucking blowing everything up. They're dropping the ceiling tiles. And I swear to God, these two actors are having a blast working together when they're fighting on the car, when they're fighting in the water. And their little ones and twos back and forth. I swear to God, like, they look at each other like they're in love, and all they're missing is that reunited and it feels so good.
Yeah, they drop down through the glass floor from the museum into, I guess this is another floor of the museum, or maybe is this the sewer? I don't know what it is.
It's an excavation area. Like, the museum had this like glass floor we could look down into like old LA and be like, "Hey, look how shitty it was back then. Aren't you glad that we can't fucking fuck?"
Oh, okay. Yeah, they did. They did something pretty similar to that in Futurama, which I'm sure that was an homage to this. But I guess there's like a television in this display, and when they're fighting, fucking Sylvester Stallone grabs it by the cord, starts whipping it around. He's like, "You're on TV." It's a fun scene.
It made me laugh so hard because, like, in this short little action scene, there are moments where, like, one has the upper hand than the other, and, like, he just starts whipping around this TV like a fucking flail, and he's fucking taking Wesley Snipes out with every hit. He's like, "God damn it!"
There are so many times in this movie that remind me so much, and you're not going to want to hear this, remind me so much of the Schumacher Batman movies.
Is it the zany action?
Yeah, like the line's like, "Hey, you're on TV," while he's slinging around a tube television by the cord.
I think it works in this movie better because, one, both actors' charisma are like at 110%. They're charming. The action is even charming. Like, in the action, like, you get bits of humanity along with the ridiculousness, whereas, like, the Schumacher Batman was just like a fucking neon wet dream.
I feel like there's a few scenes in this that could be described as a neon wet dream. This being one of them.
Literally, the sex scene is a neon wet dream.
Oh, for sure.
That was tough to look at. Like, I had to, like, avert my eyes for stuff.
They brawl for a few more minutes, and all this action is fucking great. And Wesley Snipes realizes he doesn't need to be down here. He's got to get the fuck out. So he boogies out, and Stallone's like, ugh. And whenever he gets out, though, the first thing he runs into is the Space Pope. And he's like, "I'm going to kill the Space Pope." And the Space Pope was like, "Kill me, I'm here, do it now." And he can't kill the Space Pope. And he was like, "Hey, man, you're not supposed to be killing me. You're supposed to be killing Dennis Leary because his comedy is not what we want in this movie."
Yeah, a couple of characters that we haven't really mentioned yet are this sort of, I think he's a combination of like a Pope and L. Ron Hubbard. He's sort of like the guy that started the cult that changed the whole world kind of thing. And then we've also got Dennis Leary, who is sort of like I don't want to say a leader in the underground, but one of the big figures in the sewers, who are basically like underground road warrior, like Mad Max.
They're chuds.
Sure.
Chuds, okay.
Yeah, like him, like Chud Jesus and the gang, they're just, they just come up top just for some food occasionally because they're shoved down there because they don't quite agree with everything that happens in the real world. They like the bug.
Yeah, and eat rat burgers, and drive cars, and do other things because he's an asshole.
Oh no.
I remember that.
Yeah. Now, with the Pope there and not being able to kill the Pope, he's like, go kill Dennis Leary instead. He's like, I guess, woo, and jumps through a bush. And
Yeah, he
whenever
does.
he jumps through the bush, Sylvester Stallone sees this, runs about 2/3 of the way to the bush. This is a man who literally chased him into a burning building, blew up the building, jumped out with his body after bungee jumping out of a helicopter, sees him jump through a bush, and he goes, can't follow him there.
I mean, it's all about the knees. 40 years frozen, it does hell for your knees, man.
Oh, he got all the icy and none of the hot.
Fucking the 60-year-old guy's like, oh, well, thanks for saving me. He's like, he was going to whack you. And the guy's like, oh, well, I've never heard the term whacked in the fucking 80 years of my life, even though the future just changed 30 years ago.
It's you know what, it's whatever, because they're like, thank you for saving my life. Let's go to a fantastic high-end dinner at Taco Bell. And Sly's like, well, I want a burrito.
Yeah, he gives it up quick for a burrito and a chance to have dinner with the Pope and Otho.
And they show up to this place, they're all duded up. As soon as he sits down, they just start giving him shit. Even though, I guess, technically, he saved that dude's life. They're just like, you're a Neanderthal. And he's just like, I am. I'm a Neanderthal. It's crazy.
I'll toast my Baja Blast to that.
You're right.
Yeah, you right.
Like, one of my instances that this movie is just groan-worthy and like cringeful is just how ham-fisted all of these sort of history, like alternative history takes are. Okay, first of all, it's great that they talk about President Schwarzenegger. Like, they didn't know that he was even going to be governor of California yet. Also, this was the same year as fucking Last Action Hero, which also had the crossover with Schwarzenegger being
Yeah.
What was
He's
he
in
in?
Terminator
that?
2.
Terminator 2, yeah. So I really like that there's like they're both crossing over. Or not Schwarzenegger was in Terminator 2. Stallone was in Terminator 2 in Last Action Hero. So,
Correct.
so
Yeah,
they're
like-
crossing some streams here.
Early 90s was ripe with their what do you call it, brotherly feud or whatever, when they were just doing all kinds of shit, like just trying to one up each other. So that is just really cool.
But you've got that the Taco Bell was the only restaurant to survive the franchise wars, I guess,
Yes.
of the previous decade. So now every restaurant is a Taco Bell. This is the future liberals want.
It is a great subtle joke. I love how absurd the idea of every restaurant being Taco Bell is. But I learned that it's basically localized. Like, only the versions in the United States have Taco Bell as the king of restaurants. Everywhere else
Really?
in the world, it's Pizza Hut.
Huh.
No one outpizzas the Hut. Now,
So wait, you're telling me every restaurant is called Pizza Hut whether or not they sell pizza?
Well, I mean, did you see him get his burrito?
Oh, true.
He got some fucking toothpaste on a pallet. And he's just like, you know what? Dennis Leary's stealing jokes and Taco Bell. Let's go get him.
Oh no.
yeah, he had to stop Dennis Leary from stealing those multivitamins. But I want to see more about the franchise wars. You know how fucking entertaining that would be to see a war movie of a dude wearing a fucking Taco Bell uniform being like, I'm fucking hit! And two dudes streaming over a wall wearing McDonald's hats just fucking bayoneting him to death.
No, I'm
Oh,
just
no.
thinking about the red and yellow McDonald's camouflage. Like what kind,
It doesn't
what kind of
go
a
with
uniform
anything.
is that? Yeah.
They're only camouflage in the ball pit.
Oh, there's a dude on the fucking 60. He's like, duh, 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 duh. Hey, fucking stop shooting all those people. I can't. I'm duh, 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 loving it. Just
Oh no.
I feel like this has Tropic Thunder levels of enthusiasm.
yes. Oh,
Oh,
but
man.
this Taco Bell they go into is the second best Taco Bell I've ever seen. The first best was just a regular Taco Bell, but I had recently eaten Taco Bell and I really needed the shit, so it was a fucking glorious sight.
All the meanwhile, Dennis and the Learys, they're just outside trying to steal some food because they're all hungry as shit. And it turns into this almost like circus freak show where John Spartan goes into cop mode. He's like, oh, they're stealing stuff. You shouldn't do that. That's bad. And he starts whipping the shit out of these people. And all these like San Angelinos just start to crowd around like it's like entertainment. It's like, wow, did you see what the Neanderthal is doing? That's crazy. I think he broke that man's spine.
Dude, Feral Kid from Mad Max 2 gets his ass whooped while fucking Chud Lord Dennis Leary loots the Taco Bell food truck.
Dude, it's 100% true. And for whatever reason, the dude with like the two sigh-looking things or whatever, he gets a one-liner from Stallone, and it's almost wasted because he goes down so fucking easy. He's like, is that how you're gonna enjoy the rest of your life? All 2 seconds of it.
Meanwhile, Sandra Bullock's sitting back there all blood horny, like, ooh,
Dude.
you're even better live than you were on Laserdisc.
Oof.
Fact. While that's going on, it does like a hard cut to let you know that Wesley Snipes and the Pope 100% are in cahoots.
Yep.
And fucking Road Rash Wesley is there, and he's like, we're gonna be buddies, but I'm gonna need more friends. And he's like, I guess. He just immediately agrees to freeing more people that would just completely give him away.
It's so, I don't know if it's like a character thing or whatever, because like he just wants Dennis Leary dead via Simon Phoenix, but I don't understand how or why he's so complacent. He's like, there's me and I'm crazy, but I need like 7 more people identically crazy to help me out. Is that okay? And he's just like, sure, do whatever, I'm the fucking Space Pope.
Well, I think the idea is, okay, you've got Space Pope or whatever you want to call him. He's like, hey, yeah, we're calling him the Space Pope. That's just how it is from here on out. Space Pope is like, hey, like, there's this rival heathen down in the sewers. We need him gone. I'm going to resurrect Wesley Snipes. He'll kill him for me. Now, Wesley Snipes is like, you know what? If I ended up with, like, I don't know, 10 more of me, I could rule this whole fucking world. Like, I wouldn't even need Space Pope.
That's the brilliance of this, is because Wesley Snipes, the whole time he's doing this, he's got some great moments. He's just trying to shoot the Space Pope in fun different ways, but he can't shoot him because he just can't. And then he's just like, God damn it. Just trying to figure out how he's going to kill this man. He's like, I need buddies. And he's like, all right, let's do it.
And all the while, Sandra Bullock's just like, man, I need a nut. And Sylvester Stallone just like, yeah, me too. I got like a 40-year one, just like fucking charging my laser at the moment.
It's been building up. Let me tell you, my balls are getting full, girl.
and they go back to her rustic place full of just stuff, and like she awkwardly just like proposes like, hey, let's have sex. And he's just like, my wife's fucking dead as shit. I'm 100% on board,
bro.
Yeah, no, it's so much more and less awkward than that, both at the same time. She starts saying like science words, I don't know, like something about the neurological state of arousal, and then it's just straightforward. I was wondering if you'd like to have some sex. And he's just like, yeah.
Dude, just the whole fact that she explains all that and then, proposes sex, he doesn't even mention his recently deceased wife or his daughter. It's not like he was like, my wife and daughter. No, I'm just kidding. I'm hard as granite right now because I'm dressed mainly like Steven Seagal.
He's just like, this is a hall pass, right? That's what they used to call it back in the day.
No, the same zip code.
It's okay. Me and my wife, we got an open relationship.
It's open because she's dead.
Yeah, I was waiting for it. And, Sylvester Stallone's just like, trying to set the mood for himself. Takes off his jacket, just tries to find a nice, comfy place to sit. She comes back in a robe, and he's like all about it. He's like, all right, let's do it. And then she puts like fucking Lobot fucking shit all over his head or whatever.
For the Magic the Gathering community, this is a skull clamp.
It's something fucking gross. And like, she closes her eyes and she starts to like moan and like make all kinds of noises. And fucking Rocky's over there just like, what the fuck am I doing?
Dude, he shuts his eyes and starts having a Spice Channel seizure.
It's so perfect how you describe that, because it's like flashes of Sandra Bullock under all different colored lights with like these whooshing sounds, and it's so fast and abrupt. I mentioned earlier, like, I had to look away. I'm not prone to seizures or anything, but like, fuck, that was rough to look at. Like, I don't fucking know what they were trying to like exude with this or whatever. Like this is how like sex was like, I don't know, explained by Space Pope, and they just like synthesized it or whatever. But like it's never a rave.
This is another one of those scenes that are just seems right out of a Joel Schumacher Batman movie. It's very like if there was a neon Poison Ivy and she was getting you with her like neon sexy vines or something like that, and like that's the kind of hallucinations that you would have. That's what it is to me.
Then you have Batman Stallone using his wrist blades to cut loose. He's like, "No, you can't trick me. We're gonna do the hunka chunka."
I want
to fucking hunka chunka. I forgot about that. He's just like, it's like, well, he's like, well, we do it the old-fashioned way, you know, the horizontal mambo, the hunka chunka. You know what I'm saying? And she's just like, fucking gross.
You mean with like bodily fluids? That's nasty. You're nasty.
Yeah, baby, I'm just trying to get hungry.
You a freak.
But she's like, I'm not fucking letting you inside my body. Get the fuck out. And he's like, oh, I look stupid in this shirt. They're going to make me walk down the hall? And she's like, get the fuck out. So he goes next door to his apartment and pops in a porno. JK. Enhance them titties.
I don't even know why that's there.
Yeah, like, we live in a society that's so just, like, sterile. And all of a sudden, like, this naked woman's video calling Roger or whomever it was.
Yeah, and it, like, there's no context for it. As far as I know, it doesn't affect anything after this. It's just like, oh, there's some titties. I guess if, you know, you're in 1993 and you're a 13-year-old, maybe pause it here.
Yeah,
definitely.
Let's wear that out for those poor Hollywood video employees.
Well, what they didn't explain is that he had the most common phone number at the time. And that was 8675309.
Fuck, I thought I was calling Jenny.
Exactly.
And he goes into the bathroom at one point, and this is, again, the three shells comes up. I don't remember exactly what he says here, but it's like, oh, the three shells.
Yeah, like...
Some tell me, like, at the end of this movie, he hasn't taken a shit in, like, a week.
That's what I was going to say. Like, how regular is John Spartan that he's like, oh, I really got to figure out these shells. I can't keep holding this in. I'm fucking prairie dogging.
Like a turtle.
Now... he watches that little CD disc and he finds out that Space Pope is indeed 99% in cahoots with Punk Rock Blade. And what does he do? Knits a sweater.
Yeah, for whatever reason, while he's in his rehabilitation, they program, like, I guess an art or craft into his brain. And for him, he got knitting. So I guess I don't know, when he's got downtime, he just knits to keep him out of trouble or, you know.
I thought it was really fun and quirky. It's like, what did Simon get? Super kung fu, like twice as strong. He fucking threw a dude across the street. And I know what a fucking hook is.
I'm a fucking seamstress?
Yeah, I woke up this morning thinking about squabs or something like that.
Could you imagine Matrix coming on and him being like, how do you feel, Neo? Whoa, I know crochet.
But of course, you know, after an awkward night at the hubby's place or whatever, you know, they got to go to work the next day. And he gives that sweater to Sandra Bullock, and she's like, oh, I forgive you for, you know, one exchange fluids or whatever.
Yeah, like he's in there with the Space Pope. And he's like, I'm going to kill you, Space Pope, because I know you're guilty. And he's like, nuh-uh. And he goes, I guess I'll just go into the sewers then. It makes no sense. Like, he's got the dude fucking 100% guilty, and he's like, I'll just go elsewhere. You know why? Because there's still 30 minutes in the movie.
Yeah, and now it becomes Joel Schumacher presents the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Oh my god, thank you. Thank you. It is the fucking Mario Brothers world completely.
Yeah. And Sandra Bullock, as they're going down, she has this series of lines where she'll say like a common line in 2020, or let's say a common line in 1993, but she'll say it wrong a little bit. Be like, hey, we're going down there. Let's go blow this guy.
Then Sylvester Stallone just gets all offended. He's like, oh, this guy, not me. Whatever. It's fucking Lobot bullshit. Either way, they walk into this like big pavilion area, and both the fella cop and Sandra Bullock are like, oh, what is that stank? And Sylvester Stallone's just like, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, let me get a piece of that. He's like, hey, give me a burger and a cerveza.
Did you say cerveza? what I've got today is from Firestone Walker Brewing Company out of Paso Robles, California. This is Mind Haze IPA. It's a hazy IPA, definitely looks like a hazy IPA, smells like a hazy IPA. Lots of pineapple, grapefruit, very citrusy, fruity aromas. Flavors kind of exactly what you would expect. More of that pineapple, grapefruit, orange rind, not any real green flavors at all. Full on hoppy, but not overly bitter. This is pretty good, to be honest. Yeah, that's really all I have to say. It's a good, solid, hazy IPA.
Now, would you lovingly pair this with a rat burger, per se?
100%. That rat burger looks so good.
Bro.
Look, our guy, Sylvester Stallone, is straight up told what's in that burger. He's like, huh, rat. Looks into the distance, chew, another bite, chew, bites again. All right.
You know, I drink a couple of these beers, I eat a couple of these rat burgers, do the hunka chunka, call it great.
It's okay. I like this life.
Fuck it. I hate it. Oh, good joke.
But meanwhile, while he's down there, like, poking around, he does run into Dennis Leary and his crew. And, Dennis Leary's just like, hey.
They caught him in the middle of him doing his shtick. That's what it was. As soon as they walk up to the fucking guy, he's like, I want a cheeseburger. I want to walk down the street naked, covered in jelly. No, just because I can. And like Sylvester Stallone's just like, well, it's fine. I'm not even looking for you, dude.
I seen this guy on Comedy Central in 1992. He was okay.
Yeah.
I was taken aback by his just being like, yeah, what, you sent the cops down here for me? What are you going to do? And he's like, I didn't come down here for you. I don't know who you are.
And his ego's just like,
yeah.
Now, in the meantime, they do a quick cut to show that the Road Warriors are uniting. Jesse Ventura and Wesley Snipes are now in the sewer raising hell. Now, this is where I have to agree with Chandler. But it's not the Schumacher. It is 100% the fucking original Batman music. It sounds just like the Tim Burton Batman music playing in the background while they had the sewer battle.
There are, I didn't notice it specifically here, but there are a lot of instances where you're just like, well, that's kind of weird music to be playing right now. I like it, but it's weird.
Well, hell, even how they, or at least Simon Phoenix, kind of like arrives in the scene, like he just drops down from above onto somebody.
Yeah, it's a little much. And the whole fight lasts for like 2 seconds, and then they're suddenly in a fucking car chase, and he's driving a muscle car.
Yeah, he runs out, fucking Phoenix. Phoenix runs out, and there just happens to be a very convenient cop car with the doors open right there, ready for him. Let's go.
Oh, it's their car. He stole their car.
Yeah, but why were the doors open? Why is it just hanging out there?
Because nobody steals anything when everybody's nice in the future.
This guy does.
Well, he's a blast from the past.
So they get into like a Gone in 60 Seconds or Fast and Furious-esque car chase with Spartan jumping from his car to Snipes' car, and Snipes gives a little "nobody rides for free, motherfucker," and tries to spray him off. Like straight up action movie style.
No, that wasn't even the line at all. The line was straight up, "Say hello to my little friend."
Oh yeah.
And Stallone was just like, oh, "Hey there."
I mean, are you trying to do a fluid exchange, little hunka chunka? He just tears the door off and fucking hucks Wesley Snipes out into the street.
Yeah, they're going like at tops like what, 30 miles an hour, something insane. Because he hits the ground and he's just like, roll. I'm like, oh yeah, they didn't actually want to hurt anybody.
He crashes that car and gets covered in foam, and Sandra Bullock's like, oh no, what's going on? And then the cops all come out, and he's like, I guess I'm okay. Uh-oh, here comes the Chuds. And the police are like, we're going to have to fight the Chuds. And they're like, Warriors, come out and play, yay. And then they team up. Why not?
I'm curious, like, what was the police commissioner going to do? Like, they all had, like, what, those little wands or whatever, and those little, silver iPads would be like, no, get down on the ground, or else.
Didn't you see Batman, like the one with Bane, whenever the cops fought all the dudes with guns, everyone just fist fought. No one got shot.
Yeah, like, they all show up, and he's like, you're under arrest, and I'll get back to you on that. Just, like, fuck off for a little bit.
Yeah, just take this job and shovel it.
Man.
That's another one. Yeah.
We are treated to what I thought was a very, very smart scene. It cuts to the Space Pope and Otho once again hanging out with Punk Rock Blade, and he's got a fucking leg up on the desk trying to shoot this guy, and he's like, "Fuck, I can't do it." Hey, Jesse Ventura, he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Make him bleed." He's like, "I got time to make him bleed."
Perfect.
Ah.
I thought it was gonna be like, don't mind if I do. I was the governor of Minnesota.
Oh, he didn't get the presidential library. He got like some small little monument on the outskirts.
Oh, he got that bookmobile.
Damn it. Oh. Now, the dummy that they used to throw into the fire as a corpse, it's a mess. It's
Yeah,
a
it
fucking,
is.
the body's in there so awkwardly.
It's a little legit, but like the leg is just like wham, and you're just like,
Yes.
oh man, nobody bends like that.
It looks like a fucking Stretch Armstrong that's been really overused.
Oh.
But now Simon Phoenix's plan is just like all set. Like he has all his buddies, fucking Space Pope's out of the picture. Like he is extremely close to taking over this whole city.
So, what does he need? Of course, to have a RoboCop style showdown in the cryogenic fucking prison where he's going to try to free Jeffrey Dahmer.
Like I
Yeah,
don't-
among others. It's like Jeffrey
like that-
Dahmer. Hey, I love that guy.
like I get the joke or the reference or whatever, but like he already had like a whole team of people that were basically invincible at this point. Like there would be no way they would have any trouble walking all over this place.
What happens? So, Lois and RoboCop go walking into this place, and guys try to jump on him, and she has to save RoboCop by delivering a bullock beatdown, and then she shoots the guy from Shark Tank.
Like she was straight up like pulling those high kicks just like Wesley Snipes earlier in the movie, and then Stallone's like, well, "Where did you learn that?" And she's like, "Oh, tee Jackie Chan movies."
Was the one of the whatever production company this was, were they like getting ready to ramp into Jackie Chan, and were they using this to like name drop this to the public?
Well, I think the only Jackie Chan related was like his earlier works were starting to trickle over.
Yeah,
Like,
that's it. But
Complete story and stuff.
But I assume Rumble in the Bronx was sort of getting the wheels going at this point, and they were like, "Hey, we got to have a lot of marketing for this, upcoming Jackie Chan crossover kind of film. Let's get the ball rolling by name dropping him here."
Would you be more or less upset, or if like when she kicked that dude's head in, she's like, "Woo, he ain't gonna be in Rush Hour 3."
Oh, I hate the way I laughed just then.
But no matter what kind of move she has, like Sylvester Stallone uses a little like electric wand to knock her out. Be like, "This is just for me because of the movie." Yeah, he runs back into the cold storage of where, of course, Wesley Snipes is in like full final boss regalia.
Absolute final boss regalia. This is the final battle in like a cryo chamber. You see like liquid nitrogen spurting out all over the place. It looks fucking frigid in here.
Oh, yeah.
And there's all kinds of like wacky stuff happening. Like not only do they get like in fisticuffs and start kicking the shit out of each other, but like Wesley Snipes is basically playing like the little claw game. You find in all
Yep.
these malls everywhere, and Sylvester Stallone's caught in this thing. He's just like, "Ugh, I'm uncomfortable."
Yeah, this is a giant claw machine in Mr. Freeze's lair.
Yeah. And it
Yeah.
turns into a punch kick affair, and there's an ice laser, and then everybody chills.
For sure. But I do have to give like a shout out to Wesley Snipes or whoever had the idea to use the ice laser like it was like any other just weapon you could throw anywhere or like throw against the wall, because like it wasn't quite giving him the laze that he wanted to get out of it. So he just smacks it up against the wall and it becomes like a super fucking ice laser.
Yeah, like I don't really understand this. It's an ice laser, but no, I'm not going to get into it. I don't know. I don't get it. Let's move
Well,
on.
he's the Fonz. It worked.
No, just the idea of it being an ice laser in the first place is what I have issues with. But no matter. Let's move on to the point where liquid nitrogen becomes so ubiquitous through this area, and I don't even know how it happens, but fucking... Oh, he uses the ice laser to freeze Punk Rock Blade.
No. Like while Wesley Snipes is like zipping the laser around, he cuts all these like goop tendrils and they start spraying all over the place.
Yeah,
And Wesley
yeah.
Snipes gets covered in goop, and then Sylvester Stallone's just like, "Have a cold one" or something, and he breaks that little ball thing. And I don't want to say he stole this from Terminator 2, but this has T-1000 frozen all over it.
The only vibes that I got was Sub-Zero wins fatality.
Dang, dude.
I'm right there with you. It was totally Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
You got frozen solid. I came around, kicked your head off.
Yep.
Which is a throwback to the beginning of the movie when they were rustling around in that factory or whatever with the hostages. And he's like, I don't know where I put them hostages. You know what? I'd lose my head if it wasn't attached.
And you did. Wait, I'm the wrong superhero.
He's just there.
Anyway, from that point on, like, more liquid nitrogen spurts out all over the place. There's gas and explosion. Oh, everybody's running away.
Now, they run from this explosion and scene. And
Yeah.
they suddenly are outside. Everyone's there. Dennis Leary, the police. Everyone's getting along. Everything's great. And 40 years of change and indoctrination and, you know, the three shells, peace on earth is just given up instantly whenever he's like, well, what should we do now? And Dennis Leary goes, well, let's get shit-faced.
Yeah.
And then, like, Sylvester Stallone in Retort is like, well, if I could change, then you could change. We could all change.
Dennis Leary's like, fucking A.
And then he dip kisses Sandra Bullock and she goes, wow, are all fluid exchanges like this? And Stallone looks her right in the fucking windows of her soul and goes, wait till I dick you. Oh.
By the way, like, who went back for Sandra Bullock? She was knocked the fuck out before
Nobody.
this whole place exploded.
I think the assumption is she just, like, got up and just didn't follow him. She's like, well, I guess he's got it covered.
He probably knocked me out for a reason.
Well, it was a deleted scene. She walks to the door of the cryo room, sees all that shit going down, and she goes, no, and leaves.
Oh, she, like, walks in, like, mid-ice laser and just like, oh.
She's Grandpa Simpson going in, just like sees Bart, puts back on his hat, and walks back out.
Perfect. Perfect summation. But you know what? This movie, like, at first glance and on paper, this movie is not terribly good. It's fucking... You wouldn't believe some of the ideas that kind of pop up, and you're just like, well, that's kind of stupid. Why would they make this movie? But this movie is chock full of just charm and just great play between Wesley Snipes and Sylvester Stallone. Like, no matter how fucking cringe some of the lines are, and boy, they are fucking cringe. It's just so fun. You get over it, and by the end of it, you're just like, huh, it's time to go try that hunka chunka.
Yeah, there are parts about that I agree with and that I disagree with. Like, there are definitely some scenes that I thought were really fun. Overall, I didn't like this movie very much at all, just saying. A lot of the dialogue is very ham-fisted in the way that it explains, like, oh, these are the differences between then and now. The future is super wacky. Also, just like lines in general, the dialogue is not very good and pretty cringeworthy. I do like some of the scenes as a general idea. The movie is super whatever. I probably won't watch it again, but it's not like the worst thing in the world.
This is good action schlock. The lines are literally written for Stallone and Stallone alone, and Wesley Snipes comes in with some of the worst lines, but the most charisma I've ever seen him put on screen, which is amazing to see. It's kind of like a cross between Fifth Element style and the top tier action that was equal to some of the era's best. Stallone and Snipes are a treat here. The soundtrack is terrible. The plot is so full of holes. It may as well be Swiss cheese, but it was a fun watch.
Well, there you have it. That'll be Demolition Man. If you have any strong feelings about the movie or the show, leave it in the comment section below.
Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Hit the little bell icon down there too, so you know next time we've got another one of these brewing.
Check us out on all of our different social medias. We got that Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit. If you don't check those things out, we'll get our administrator, who's constantly making new content for you guys, to deep freeze you for 40 years and then take you out to Taco Bell for a Baja Blast toast.